that'll make part 3. Thanks, Twitch. It seems to be killing it exactly on the half hour. Which, again, is convenient, but, you know, I'll have to figure out how to deal with that, so my apologies, guys. Tell everyone to refresh real quick here before I get back to what I'm doing. Let me know when you guys can see the stream again, and we'll pick it back up. I apologize. I'm not really sure what's causing it, but okay, cool. Thank you. So, part 3 of episode 6. Thanks, Twitch or OBS or whatever powers that be are fucking me over tonight. So you can see, Milia's goals in the neutral game are similar. She wants to get in and get a knockdown because then she can do her Disco Kazeme, all that fun stuff. But her ways of going about it are very different. She has the hairpin, which is a way better long-range closing gap tool than like Hard Slash Fujin would be. I mean, this is just, she's in. She's there. You have to deal with that. And obviously her speed, her mobility is huge. So that's another way the neutral game is played. Now, depending on who she's playing, her willingness to throw the hairpin may be different. A good example in original Accent Core, and it probably still applies in Plus R, is when Milia was fighting Eddie, she had control over when he could summon the puppet, because hairpin is amazing at killing the shadow. It destroys Nobiru and all sorts of things and then kills the shadow, and then Eddie's in real trouble. Because one knockdown against Milia without any way to get out he's going to die. Like, that's really bad. So, situations like that, understanding when to throw the hairpin, utilizing speed, that's her neutral game in a very basic nutshell. And keep in mind, I'm not giving you the entire story of all these characters' neutral games. If I tried to go through every single character and break down their neutral game in every matchup, we'd be here till next week. So these are basis and to give you more ideas of how the neutral game is played from different perspectives. So we've done an average style character, Anji, who's not super fast, not super slow, but has decent mobility, decent pokes, and some interesting neutral game options. And now we've done a speed character with Milia, who's very fast, high mobility, and has very strong neutral game options with the hairpin and roll and secret guard and that kind of thing. Very different, but again, trying to achieve the same goals. So let's go on to a brand new character for Plus R with Cliff. Those of you who joined me before the show, I've actually been working on learning Cliff as a sub, so I decided this would be a fun character to add for examples. And he's actually kind of unique in how he plays the neutral game, so it works out for what I want to do. So, Cliff is not terribly fast. His backdash moves pretty well. His forward dash is rather slow and has a long startup before he can do anything, that sort of thing. His air dashes are pretty slow, don't go super far. And his super jump is ridiculously high, but doesn't exactly cover a lot of ground. So what does Cliff do in the neutral game? Well, I'm pretty sure you can guess, if you haven't watched Cliff go yet, that he has a gigantic fucking weapon. So Cliff plays the neutral game by going, I cover ridiculous amounts of space with my moves. This is an interesting, unique way to play the neutral game. I'm slow, I'm kind of plodding, but hot damn, can I cover a lot of space and beat out a lot of your crap at some pretty obnoxious ranges. His normals have silly range. Jump slash, jump heavy, all cover all sorts of space. It's really good. On the ground, he can play a really good ground footsie game. His down heavy, this is silly. This is really good. Covers the entire horizontal space in front of him. That's a low, and it's cancelable. This is a pretty handy tool to have in the neutral game. It's got recovery. If they call you out on it and you're being really blatant, you could get in trouble for it. But that's a really nice neutral game tool. I don't have to be fast or have a ridiculous fireball that I can use in the air when I can just go, get the fuck out of my ground space. He also has a Milia-style sweep. This is really good for a character like this. Like, It has long range. It's super fast. If he snags you with one in the neutral game and is good at hit confirming, he can combo into his super. That sort of thing. And then, as we've kind of gone, each character kind of having their one really unique neutral game tool to them that's a little different than the generic, oh, I'm using my normals or I'm using my mobility, is his 236K, or excuse me, the 214K. This thing. That covers ridiculous amounts of space. This move's not near as unsafe as it should be, and it knocks down. It also has an FRC that I probably won't hit because I haven't practiced it much yet. In fact, I don't even remember where it is. But it has an FRC to make it not hit, and then you can land on them. So this is not just a move that has to be respected. It can also be used as a mobility tool. Let me put on inputs so I can show you. It's earlier than I thought. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. See? Oh, it's coming. I have to block this. Oh, crap. He stopped and throwed me. It's pretty good. So this is that unique tool that every character gets. And as my chat is mentioning, it can cross up and it can hit overhead. So that's a pretty good tool to have. Or I know it crosses up. I can't remember if it hits overhead or not. Well, you know what? There's an easy way to figure out. Block. Okay. And playback. That either crossed up or hit overhead, so let's see. I'll go from max range. Yeah, that's pretty much an overhead too. Yep, that's an overhead. So there you go. So that's his unique tool that he has to control space and neutral. You know, if you catch them, you know, using a good standing poke, like, let's record Kai some more. You know, Kai throws stun edge or stand heavy. Well, okay, so it does beat that. I wasn't sure. Yeah, it'll beat a projectile if you use it right. That sort of thing. Just basic neutral game stuff there. So that's a move you have to respect. On block, you can punish it. It's harder than it should be, in my opinion. On whiff, it's pretty hard to punish that because you're gonna have a hard time seeing that whiff. Like, he's probably either gonna get away from you or you're gonna be waiting to block it and punish it, and when it whiffs, you're gonna go, oh, shit. That sort of thing. So what's Cliff's goal out of the neutral game? Well, simply put, it's not much. He just wants to make you block anything. Once he can start putting down fireballs and get you into the corner and knocks you down once, he has a really basic but strong Oki game. He has a really silly fuzzy guard with jump kick, excuse me. So he just kind of wants to get close. Or his goal in the neutral game can be something as simple as just kind of zoning you out and then comboing into fireballs and annoying the hell out of you, or fishing for stuff like this, like we talked about, that he can hit confirm and then get on top of you. So he can do both. He can get on top of you and start his basic game, or he can just annoy you with his ridiculous over-the-top range until he catches you with a counter hit and then does a combo and makes it hurt and knocks you down. So a different type of neutral game. Literally just, nope, I cover all the space. Deal with it, nerd. Also, I have this, because why not? So, average style character in Anji. Speedy style character in Milia. Slow and plodding, but holy shit, do I have some range character in Cliff. And then I have one more example that we'll cover, and that's a more transitional style character. So, we're going to grab Venom. So Venom's neutral game is interesting because his neutral game in it of itself is very fluid. I'm not talking about the broad spectrum. I'm saying his neutral game can alter quicker than most because he has so many ways to do it. He's a transitional character like we talked about in the character episode. So, his mobility, again, kind of like Anji. He has a pretty fast air dash that covers good space. Basic back dash, decent forward dash. His super jump is what it is. So the standard mobility options. Nothing that sticks out, at least in terms of your normal tools. What he does have is extremely good pokes. His far slash just covers all kinds of space. This is kind of similar in vein to what Cliff's down heavy does, except it's not a low. And he doesn't get a super off of it for big damage. His down slash, same thing. Covers a lot of space. He has his forward heavy, which can cover a good amount of space in front of him and catch people in jumps, that sort of thing. And then he has his forward punch and forward kick, which are good at stuffing people trying to advance their neutral game onto you, so they have to be respected while you're at neutral. Obviously, one of the unique things Venom can do in the neutral game is ball summons. Getting out the pool balls, using them to control space, not unlike, say, Guile would with Sonic Booms in Street Fighter. Kind of things like, well, you have to respect these projectiles now, so maybe I'll just get some more and kind of keep them going. Maybe I will advance a little bit and then get more going. Maybe I'll back up and create more space and just get more pool balls out. Obviously, the options get kind of unlimited until people stop you from doing this, until they get up on you and say, no, I'm not going to let you summon pool balls anymore. And again, moves like forward kick and forward punch come in handy. They go hand in hand with the pool ball zoning. Because if they want to air dash over that, well, they might just eat forward kick for their trouble. So, basic thing. On top of summoning, he has his basic fireballs, Stinger Aim. Both versions, fast, slow, and then the Force Break one, which now goes back and forth, which is a crazy neutral game tool. Because now you can literally just lock out the whole bottom of the screen. You can lock out the ground game to somebody with a move like that. Because they have to respect it coming back. That move doesn't disappear. And then one more unique option he has actually goes back to his mobility, and that's his ability to teleport. And Venom teleports to whatever the last pool ball you summoned was, by the way. Or no, first pool ball you summoned. I take that back. Apologize. So if you summon a hard slash ball and then move it around, he's always going to go to wherever that ball is. So whatever the latest ball you summoned on screen, whatever's been on the screen the longest, is where he will go. That sort of thing. But teleport's a way he can play the neutral game. You know, zoning with pool balls, and you have to respect it, summons a pool ball, and then bam, comes at you, that kind of thing. So, a different kind of way to be mobile without having, you know, a special high jump or something like that. So Venom's neutral game is super fluid, super full of options, and can be changed on the fly. He can utilize some zoning and buy time. He can utilize ways to get in following the pool balls. He can utilize ways to make you hang yourself by getting frustrated with the pool balls and coming into his prime range for stuffing jumps and air dashes and stuff. So what are his goals out of the neutral game? Well, his are much more matchup specific. There may be characters where he is totally content to spend much of the round just keeping you out. Zoning you, keeping you away, poking you, keeping you honest. And then matchups where he wants to, say, follow a pool ball in, go in, get a knockdown, and start his Okazeme game. You know, that sort of thing. So Venom is actually like the perfect microcosm of neutral and Guilty Gear. His neutral game is ridiculously fluid and makes it strong because he can choose how he wants to transition out of it by having different ways to play it. Not every character is blessed with that. So he has a strong neutral game, but it's not without its holes just like everybody others. It's a little different. So those are the varying examples of neutral game. I could go through every character and show you basics for what their tools are in the main neutral game and what they want to do to turn the game flow into their favor and gain that offensive advantage or get the opponent to make a mistake in the neutral game. But it's one of those things that you really, really have to spend time. It's really important to have a good neutral game. Like I said earlier, it's really easy to be learning Guilty Gear, learning a matchup or playing somebody, and you're getting beat by something that you remember, like an anti-air, or a move with good priority, or a mix-up that seems really potent, and it's really easy to look at that specific thing because you recognize it as strong and go, man, that's what I'm having trouble with in this matchup. When in actuality, maybe your neutral game is lacking and you're letting people get to you way too easily. You're allowing too many holes and allowing them offensive advantage without enough resistance. And that's what's allowing the match to go against you. It's really important to not just learn how to play the neutral game, but learn how to analyze your neutral game. Learn where you might be lacking. Learn where you're letting people off the hook in the neutral game. That sort of thing. How do you practice the neutral game and get better? Straight up, watch match videos, see how good players play the neutral game, see how they get into and out of it, and play. Play lots of people, play lots of different matchups. Learning a matchup with one type of neutral game may not even be enough because you may have somebody who plays the same character completely different than another. There's multiple ways to play characters in Guilty Gear, even though their general strengths and goals are similar. You know, Milia always wants to knock you down and play the Okizeme game, but you might play someone who's a really fleety runaway Milia and really picks her spots, and then might play another Milia who does the aggro crackhead strat and just wants to get fancy and get on top of you. So, play people and get a feel for how to play the neutral game. Get a feel for how to turn the tide in your favor and how to start your basic offensive game. That's really the best way to do it. It's much like all things in Guilty Gear. The more experience you get, the better you get. You know, pretty standard common sense nonsense. I've been spouting a lot of that tonight. But it's really hard to just go into training mode, even with a training dummy programming a lot of things, and hammer out the neutral game. Because like I said, it's fast, it transitions into and out of quickly, and you make a lot of decisions fast. You know, I went over all these tools these characters have, and I'm sure on paper and hearing me kind of lay it out step by step, it probably sounds like a lot to try and digest all at once. But I promise you, the more you play, this stuff really does become second nature. When you're playing as Venom, you're not thinking about, oh, I got to use // to shut down this space because he might want that space. No, you'll just go, I can do this. This is a good time to do this. This is safe. There's a good reason for me to do this. You won't go through all this post-processing. You will just naturally play the goddamn game because that's what we're here to do, is play it and have fun. And these things will come the more you get used to the neutral game. I'm not going to lie, like, I actually struggled kind of writing my notes and trying to figure out how do I even break down the neutral game. Because it's one of those things that I can tell you what it is, but to actually explain it and show it in detail and give you ideas of how to understand it better is even kind of difficult for me. Because like I said, I feel like my neutral game is something I need to work on. So, if there's anything that should tell you, don't ever feel like your neutral game has been mastered. You can master combos and drop them very, very rarely. You can master setups and make sure you always execute them right and give yourself proper frames, that sort of thing. The neutral game is so fluid and always changing, you're never going to master it. It's something you can always be working on and always looking to for how to improve certain matchups that you might be struggling with. So, if Twitch is going to boot me again, like it has on the half hour every time so far, I have about 10 minutes. So, do you guys have any questions, comments? Do you want more specific examples? That kind of stuff. What have you got? Does this make any sense, or did I just blab for an hour and 20 minutes and you guys think I'm absolutely a moron for how I tried to explain the neutral game? Feel free to throw whatever you got at me, because I feel like this is one of the most important topics I can cover. If you improve your neutral game, your entire game improves. Like, no joke. We all think you're a moron. That's fair. That's really fair. Yeah, do you guys have any quick, like, do you have, like, a specific example you want? Like, something that you know, trips you up, or something that you want re-explained in more detail. I do my best to follow my notes and kind of go down the road and really lay out what I want to lay out, but this topic is so broad, and I could talk about examples and small snippets and stuff like that for hours and not really fully cover it. This is just meant to be a primer. Show you an example of Johnny's neutral game. I can try. Again, I'm not a Johnny expert by any stretch of the imagination, but we can certainly at least do a couple things. So Johnny, super fast backdash, really fast forward dash since it's been sped up in plus R, and a decent air dash. Super jump is what it is. It's basically a high jump. Doesn't have a lot of that stuff. But he has his pokes, obviously. His neutral game is he has long-reaching pokes, forward heavy, stand slash, stand heavy. Forward kick covers a lot of ground. Forward punch is a really good anti-air for people who want to hang themselves and jump at you blatantly, that kind of thing. But Johnny's neutral game is basically just closing ground. I mean, he just doesn't need much. He needs long enough to make you block one coin, and he goes into the offensive pressure game with miscancel, stuff like that. Johnny's a character I don't know how I would explain in the neutral game, because he has, you know, Divine Blade has some invulnerabilities, so I can get him through some stuff. You can do the... Wow, that doesn't go as far anymore. This used to be a good way to cover a ton of ground, was that, but he kind of stalls out. That used to fly him across the screen. But Johnny just kind of plays a basic, you know, poking, roaming around. He does have where is it? Oops. The up coin, which is more of a pressure tool, but I suppose it controls a little space. But coins are a limited supply. I don't know that I would utilize it in that way. But Johnny just kind of plays based on his normals and his speed. He just waits to get a small opening and starts pressure. You know, you have good interrupts. His neutral game would be kind of tricky. I honestly don't have a good way to explain it to you because I flat out don't play Johnny. I watch Johnny videos, but I'm kind of one of those guys that doesn't pay as much attention to the all-around game with Johnny as I just want to see the ridiculous over-the-top Sato and Johnny-O combos. Because, let's all face it, that shit's awesome. Yeah. Do these points apply to Smash or Soul Calibur? Good questions. The idea behind the neutral game and what it is, sure. Neutral game is in every single fighting game, no matter how you look at it. But how you play neutral in a 3D fighter and how you play neutral in Smash are definitely worlds different than how you play neutral in Guilty Gear and ArcSys games. The underlying goals are the same, but I would not take anything I'm saying here and try and translate it into a 3D fighter to Smash. It's probably not going to work very well. Testament's changes to his neutral game. I think they're pretty... I think he's fine. I think Testament had one of the best overall redesigns in Plus R. I really like how they redid him. EXE Beast was way too good in neutral game, so the delayed one is nice. The nets and the trees are still very strong neutral game trap tools, and he still has good normals. Now it's Justice with her neutral game. We've done enough of that. I don't want to comment too much on Justice because I have not messed with her yet, even though I have Plus R, and I don't watch a lot of Justice videos, so it's a character I'll need to learn more about, admittedly. Anything else? Because I'm just going to assume I have 6 minutes before Twitch goes piss off again. People are going to be really confused when I upload 3 different freaking highlight clips, but that's okay, we'll make it work. Hopefully this doesn't keep going for when because I'll be streaming a lot here with speedrunning attempts and other stuff coming up, so I got to get this fixed and figure out what the hell the problem is. So, I apologize again for OBS or Twitch or whatever it was not wanting to cooperate tonight. I will hopefully have that fixed. How important is throwing in neutral game? The thing about throws is that if you're in throw range, the neutral game's probably over. Odds are somebody has offensive advantage at that point. You can air dash over somebody's projectile in the neutral game and throw them as a punish, that sort of thing. But to set up throws in Guilty Gear usually means you had some kind of breakdown in the neutral game. That's a much more offense-defense Okazeme part of the game. Potemkin obviously would be an exception, because Potemkin Buster has such good range and is so fast. That's part of the neutral game you kind of have to respect, because you can't just close space on the ground without complete, with reckless abandon and not take any risks there. So there's that sort of thing. But again, throw range means the neutral game is kind of transpired at that point. You're onto a different part of the game flow, and I'll be covering those in future episodes. Anything else, guys? All right, cool. Next episode, 2 weeks, on September the 3rd. Keep the feedback coming. I really appreciate it. You guys give me all sorts of good ideas, and I'm working on every time. I'm working to improve the stream and make it better for you guys. All that good stuff. Keep the feedback coming. Follow me on Twitter @Glage. If you're enjoying the stream, please follow me on Twitch. And send me emails, thoughts, criticisms, comments on the show, glage.iadtv@gmail.com. And Sim says he is going to dethrone Elven Shadow at Frosty Faustings. For those of you who don't know, Frosty Faustings was announced. It's the weekend of December 29th. I should be there. I have plans to go. It's the week before AGDQ, so I should be able to make it. So I will be there to play Guilty Gear and BlazBlue and hopefully commentate Guilty Gear again. So plan on seeing me there. If you can make it out to that, it's an awesome Guilty Gear tournament. You should definitely show up. So yeah. I think that's going to do it, guys. I'm going to wrap this up before Twitch boots me off again, and I have to bust this into a 4th segment. So, thanks, Sim. I appreciate that. I try to not suck at commentary, so I enjoy doing it. So that's definitely one of the highlights of when I come out to Faustings. Hopefully this year I'll be much better. I should be in a lot better practice, and my character doesn't suck in this version, so maybe I'll go out in top 9 instead of top 25. I'm bad. Guys, thank you as always. I really appreciate it. Take care, have a good time, and I will see you the day after Labor Day for episode 7. Until then, peace.